Hello, my name is Duncan and welcome to Back to Books, or Back Away from the Donkey. This is a pick and mix. Didn't do one last week because I didn't really have much to say. And I thought I'd do one this week, even though I haven't got huge amounts to say, but it was just because I've been working on my Philip K. Dick on film, my first video, which is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and Blade Runner, and it's taken me a lot longer than I thought, and I'm writing a lot of stuff to do with it, and I'm watching and reading a lot of stuff around it. And I think this first video, which hopefully will be out by the back of the month, 31st-ish, early next month, is probably going to take a lot more longer than any of the other ones, because all the other films are based on his short stories. So there's less to analyse. And also, there's been so much written about Blade Runner. But yeah, so I'm working my way on that. I'm hoping to film it tomorrow or Monday. And I think it could end up being a bit long, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, so I've not actually read huge amounts this week. Not been feeling particularly good, so I'm here with my, I don't normally bring a drink on camera, but I'm here with my hot Ribena. And I've got a bit of a dodgy throat, so if I start coughing, I will cut it. But yes, my fallback, which is Ribena, which I don't know whether you have in America, but you probably do, or anywhere else around the world. So yeah, so let's just start off. Everybody seems to be releasing their reading master plans. Criminale, I saw Steve Donahue, and I did see Michael K Vaughan about how they organise their reading. So if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll see how I organise mine, and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed how well I organise it. So, what have I been reading recently? Well, I've just started this a couple of weeks ago, Harry Harrison's Plague in Space, which is, so I'll show you a video there, which I really liked, but I'm a big fan of Harry Harrison. I'm going to actually do a proper video just on that book, so I'm not going to say too much about that one. Obviously, I've just reread Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. That's the version I read of it. I've got about 3 versions of it. I've not read it for a while, and you forget how good it is and how weird it is. And I think one of the reasons it was one of the first books up for a film of his is it's probably got more of a straight-through narrative than most of his other books, other than probably The Man in the High Castle. But anyway, yes, I read that this week. And as with all Philip K books, let me show you again, it is quite a slim volume. Most of his books are 178 pages, so that was quite a quick read. And that's basically what I've finished reading this week. I am also reading this gorgeous book. And I'm slowly doing this. I'm going to be doing this for the week. Week. And I'm probably going to do some reading along of books that they mention. I said it's a story of classic British science fiction in 100 books. I'm on a section on H.G. Wells stuff at the moment. I said it is, I've shown it before, it is a gorgeous book. Some beautiful paper it's on. And it's beautifully, I'm trying to be very careful with it because it's just a gorgeous book. And I said I'm probably going to do some books, read some books along with this, which I will probably end up talking about. So there's that one on the go. I said in my not feeling too good, I've been making myself better by listening to some Neil Young and Masters of Reality all morning. Some After the Gold Rush Neil Young, and my CD of it. And Masters of Reality, if you know Masters of Reality, it's for their first album. And it's not the Black Sabbath one, it's a band called Masters of Reality, released in about 86, 87. And it's one of my favourite albums of all time. And weirdly, the only version I have is an audio cassette. I must buy a CD of it. I'm being stupid. And for those youngsters out there, this is an audio cassette. And I still play them. And it still sounds good on my system. And I'll show you the gorgeous artwork on this. Let's get the CD of it. But yes, it's their first album. They did 3, I think. But I love that album. I'm trying to think what year it came out. But yes, books and music, you can't say this isn't a proper pick and mix. And just to show you, in my explorations for stuff for my Philip K. Dick on film, I found some bits I have lying around, and include some original lobby cards from Blade Runner. A bit battered, I keep meaning to frame them. These are some original lobby cards that were in the cinemas, which I've had for, well, 1982, 83, I've had them whenever it came out. And that one. This one's actually a photographic print, which for some reason is one of my favourites. Also have some other lobby cards. Some, if you're interested, Return of the Jedi lobby cards. I do keep meaning to get some of these things framed. Lord Lando there. And I have actually finished the Return of the Jedi ones. That one, famous publicity shot. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. I like Ewoks. I also have two from Alien, from the first Alien film. And that is the Nostromo. And one of Ripley in cryogenic thing. And that one actually is nice print as well. But yes, some random things I found this week. So I told you, it's a real proper pick and mix. Excuse me while I take a sip of drink, because my throat is... I've really not read as much as I want to this week. I've been having a look around at what people's videos around. Roy Reads Everything. Roy did a great one on Clark Ashton Smith, who I've never read. So pop across there if you want to see that. Michael Vaughan did a couple of interesting videos, one on how he organises his reading. And there's been quite a few things around this week. But anyway, talking about Michael Vaughan, he's got his book club coming up, and I'm not really going to be doing many booktube events this year because I just like to keep my reading thing. But one of the things I was going to do was follow his book club, and one of the first books he was doing is The Prisoner of Zenda. And so in Roger's cheap book club, or cheap ass book club as I keep calling it, all the stuff is available on Project Gutenberg. I will actually link to his video about it, and he's got some really interesting books there. And the first one for February is The Prisoner of Zenda, and I've probably broken the main rule. I don't know whether it is, and I picked up a puffin edition of The Prisoner of Zenda. Nice big text for me, but yes, so I had to, because I'd rather read it in a proper book than on e-reader. But yeah, so that's from Roger's Cheap Ass Book Club, as I like to call it, which I think is a better name. And I said the first one, Prisoner of Zenda, which I'm actually looking forward to having a read. And it's probably one of the few events I'm probably going to be doing this year, just because I don't like to get overwhelmed with stuff. As I said earlier, I've not been particularly well the past week or so, so my reading has slowed down. So when stuff like that happens, if you're not got too much on your plate, that's pretty good. And the other thing that I got hold of was in my thing of books about Philip K. Dick that weren't written by Philip K. Dick. And this is called, it's a non-fiction book, Losing the Head of Philip K. Dick. And it is a true story, and it is about a group of scientists who decided to build a android of Philip K. Dick that would actually even interact with people, talk to them and everything. And they were taking it to, I think, Google headquarters for some presentation or something, and somebody had the head in a bag, and it got lost on the plane. And apparently the head is still floating around. They've never found the head. They did make another one afterwards. But that's the story. But including in this book, from what I can see, and I'm probably going to start reading this quite soon, is quite a good, as it uses up a roundup of going through a lot of Philip K. Dick's works. I said I know I'm doing a lot of Philip K. Dick reading at the moment, but I'm probably going to prioritise getting this one done sooner as well. So as my next reads, I said obviously because I finished the ones I said. And the other thing I'm going to read, I mentioned Roy from Royreadsanthing at the end of the video about Clark Ashton Smith. He mentioned his Mills and Boon books he's going through. Well, I thought I'd finally start mine because I picked up a couple a few months ago, and I'm going to start with Son of Adam because it has the cover has this really creepy guy sniffing this woman's hair. So I'm actually going to read that this week. It looks like it's going to be quite a quick read anyway. But hey, my first dalliance with romance novels. Why not, hey? Why not? I think that's probably about it. I did see... Sorry, excuse me. A video this week, but I think it was released a few weeks ago by... I can't remember who by. And somebody talking about why you should be well read, which means reading round and expanding your reading and reading stuff you wouldn't normally read. And I sort of slightly disagreed with it because I don't think you should force yourself to be well read, because I think naturally as you read and you become a reader, you will naturally go off and tangents and read different things. And I sometimes think that forcing people to who have no interest in reading, you know, classics that might be can be quite challenging, especially with some of the language used. It's a great way to put people off reading and reading those books, and sometimes people will just naturally come across those and naturally find them. It was quite an interesting video. I will see if I can find out who did it, because I cannot remember for the life of me. And if I do, I'll put a link below. If I don't, I won't put a link below. But yeah, so that's about it really. So it's quite a short pick and mix, because I haven't really got huge amounts to say. I just wanted to make a quick video because I've not made many this week. I made one at the beginning of the week. At the end of the week, I did a short review of a Frank Gruber, who was a pulp writer, wrote lots of westerns, detective stories. His memoir that I read, I released that on Friday. I'm going to put a link to that because I'd like to see if anybody else wants to read, look at that video, because I think it's quite interesting. The editing in it is all over the place because I had a nightmare with it and ended up doing far more editing than I normally would. So it's probably a little bit choppy, but that was my last video. I think it came out on Friday. But yeah, that's about it really. I haven't really got much more to say. But if you stick around for a few seconds, you will find out how I organise my reading and my big master plan. So I will speak to you all very soon, and I said hopefully I'll have the Philip K. Dick one out middle of the week, and hopefully I'll get a few more videos this week and be a little more productive, but we'll just see how we go. So my priority is just to read stuff and just enjoy what I'm doing. So hope you have a good weekend, and I will speak to you all very soon. So how I organise my master plan for my reading. What I do is I open a spreadsheet like this on my computer. See, there we are. And then I will take you over to where the rest of the magic lies. Do is I totally ignore that spreadsheet, and I go along my bookshelves and think, should I read some Edgar Allan Poe or some Wells? And I think, nah, sod it. Let's go and read that one. Let's go and read A Man in High Castle. That's it. That's my big reading plan. I just pick a random book. Anyway, I'll speak to you all very soon.